violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Police have released the identity of a man found dead in a driveway early Thursday morning. It all started when some parents driving their children to school called police.
So guys, we did cover this story once before, and now we've got details on the super gremlins that killed this elderly glider male in his driveway.
After they spotted a man laying at the end of a driveway that leads to an empty lot. When officers arrived, they found the victim, 57-year-old Christopher Eberhart, shot to death at the scene on Peachtree Battle Avenue. Police are now searching for a possible suspect, and anyone with information is being asked to call Atlanta police.
New details coming to light tonight regarding the man found dead outside a Buckhead home last Thursday. Atlanta police tell us they have now made an arrest on 57-year-old Christopher Eberhart's murder. Investigators believe 18-year-old Travis Landrey was
18 years old, Travis Landry. My man looks crazy out of his mind. I've been telling you guys, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Was involved with crashing a stolen car just hours before coming across Eberhart. Police believe after the crash on Northside Parkway, Landry headed to Buckhead, then stole Eberhart's car and fatally shot him.
And we believe that he was walking around Buckhead, somewhere in that same area, with a firearm, trying to obtain new form of transportation. And we believe that at some point he came across Mr. Eberhart, backed into a driveway on Peachtree Battle Avenue.
Landry was arrested in Alabama in Eberhart's pickup truck. He is now facing several charges tonight.
This dude was still in the whip. He got caught in Alabama in the man's vehicle. This is ridiculous, bro. Buckhead is hot, y'all. Atlanta is hot. I mean, like I said, these properties are 300, 400,000, maybe even more. These are very expensive properties, y'all. And the fact that these super gremlins are waking up early in the morning to jack a man in his driveway is troubling. We need that succession from the city of Atlanta. Buckhead, as a Buckheadian, I say that, and I live in Buckhead, I say that, yeah, we need to go ahead and, yeah, let's cut it right here. Cut it right here. We need to secede from the city of Atlanta because Mayor Eric Adams isn't doing his damn, not Eric Adams, but Andre Dickens ain't doing his damn job. He been quiet. He has been quiet, relatively quiet, for the past few months, and nothing's getting better. It's time for a change, bro.
Tonight, including murder and carjacking.
Details tonight on the deadly shooting in Buckhead early yesterday morning. Atlanta police just released some of the 911 call made by a woman who says her 9-year-old daughter saw the man lying on the ground.
God. 9-year-old daughter found her father on the ground. That is just heartbreaking. I told you guys before, I've done videos on this. The super gremlins are, I mean, it's safe to say the super gremlins are actively hunting white men. And it's not necessarily just because they're white. I think it's because they see them as a lick, man. They just see them as an easy lick. I don't know if white men need to change their marketing, but you guys are a target. And I mean, I don't know what it is, but the super gremlins are out to get you. We got Elijah Dewitt. We got Thomas Arnold. So many others, and of course, you know, other black men as well. Those are the ops. But specifically when it comes to these cases like this, these guys were not involved in street activity. They didn't have ops, or, you know, they weren't beefing with some of these super gremlins. But, you know, they were caught in the mess that is now the city of Atlanta.
And the man does not appear to be, he's not conscious. I'm not sure if he's alive. It looks like maybe 3 gunshot wounds.
Okay, so this was the 911 caller's daughter who's seen the body, not his daughter. Okay.
To the upper left part of his body. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's tough to hear. That was the 911 call made yesterday morning. The man found dead on Peachtree Battle Avenue in Buckhead has now been identified as 57-year-old Christopher Eberhart. Atlanta police are still working to learn what led up to that shooting, what happened. Anyone with information is asked to call Atlanta police.
Tonight, a man accused of committing a deadly carjacking in Buckhead's in custody. Authorities arrested him and another man in Alabama in the victim's stolen truck. Channel 2's Michael Seidens live in Buckhead. So, Michael, this victim was just doing his job when he lost his life.
Justin, just a tragic story. Let me set the scene for you. It was last Thursday morning when police say that victim, a contractor, was actually in his truck right here. He had backed right into the driveway, getting ready to do.
And you guys know that I'm in the real estate game. These contractors definitely work hard. So it's just sad to see that a guy who's done it the right way, gotten his general contracting license, and, you know, went through trials and tribulations to build something up for himself, is taken out by an individual who doesn't want to work for anything and just feels like things should be given to them and they should just take it away from hardworking people. It's absolutely disgusting.
Do some work on some new construction, and that's when investigators say that fatal encounter took place. The friends and family of Christopher Eberhart remembering the 57-year-old Gainesville resident as a well-liked, successful contractor who loved spending time with his wife and their 3 kids. But last Thursday around 7 a.m., tragedy struck when police say this man, Travis Landry, confronted Eberhart in the driveway of a Buckhead home along Peachtree Battle.
We believe that he arrived early that morning, probably to beat the traffic as he drove in from Gainesville in Hall County, and was backed into the driveway waiting the appropriate hour to begin construction on Peachtree Battle Avenue. He approached him, confronted him, and that confrontation led to the motor vehicle hijacking of Mr. Eberhart's GMC Sierra pickup, and his shooting death.
As police descended on the scene, detectives worked quickly and determined that the suspected shooter, Travis Landry, and Braylon Espree had been spotted earlier driving in a stolen car along I-75 near Moores Mill Road.
Driver of that vehicle fled the traffic stop, and the officer had reported that there were 2 occupants inside. The officer continued in the path of flight of that vehicle, at some point losing sight of it, but then finding it on Northside Parkway overturned. But there was only 1 occupant inside the vehicle at that time.
Investigators say Espree was taken to a hospital with minor injuries and did not play a role in the deadly carjacking.
They fled the state of Georgia in Mr. Eberhart's pickup truck, and we tracked that vehicle to Alabama southbound on Interstate 65.
And tonight, both of those suspects remain in jail in Mobile County. They also told us today at that news conference that APD, they worked with federal, state, and local authorities to track them down. We are live tonight in Buckhead. Michael Seidens, Channel 2 Action.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, like the video, hell, share the video, and make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
On 11 Alive tonight, friends and family of Chris Eberhart are still trying to come to terms with his sudden and tragic death. The husband, father, and grandfather was killed during a carjacking on Thursday on Peachtree Battle Avenue in Buckhead. Today, Atlanta police say the suspect, Travis Landry, was caught in Alabama driving Eberhart's stolen truck. He will be extradited back to Atlanta in the coming days. Tonight, family and friends of the man Landry is accused of killing are preparing to say goodbye. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is in Monroe tonight. Cody, this is just such a case of senseless, tragic violence.
It really is, Savannah. Chris Eberhart's family still in shock over the true randomness of this crime. His wife Joy staying here in Monroe with family, and tonight I quickly picked up on just how much Chris was loved and how much he loved his family.
Devastating.
Devastating, shock, couldn't believe it. Thought it was a sick joke.
It's surreal for the way that it happened.
Yeah, and it's not a joke, man. It's not a joke. These super gremlins are definitely on the prowl, definitely on the hunt. They feel like they can do no wrong. They have the victim mindset, which gives them an excuse for their behavior. And this is something that has been established for a long time now, and it's pretty upsetting at this point. But hey, man, what can you do when the lawmakers and the politicians enable this type of activity, all while screaming defund the police? You know, Atlanta was definitely screaming defund the police, and this is the result.
Random and senseless. On Thursday, October 13th, Chris Eberhart showed up to a job site on Peachtree Battle Avenue in Buckhead.
It's just a normal day.
It was early, around 7 a.m. Well, early for most, but as Bart Biddy explained to me, if you ever worked for Eberhart, you knew.
That man woke the rooster up to get everybody else up. He was on the job site before everyone.
A man just trying to earn an honest living.
He was a hard-working.
Exactly. Like, my thing is, where's the white privilege in this story? Because he worked for everything that he earned. No handouts. You know, first to wake up, first to be on the site, last to leave. Did everything right. And then y'all are going to say his success came from strictly the color of his skin. It's ridiculous, man.
Family man. He loved his kids. He loved to travel.
Which is why his brother, Ron Eberhart, says it's so hard for them to wrap their heads around it.
He was just the wrong place at the wrong time.
A crime that stole so much from this family. Eberhart's daughter, Brooke.
Loved taking me fishing and adventuring. His smile. He was infectious to everybody. I mean, you couldn't have a dull conversation with him.
A woman who knows all too well Joy Eberhart. In a split second, she lost her best friend.
Kind, loving, would do anything for anybody.
A man who will be missed by so many.
We're going to miss him. For sure.
For sure. Heck of a guy.
Including Biddy, who considered Eberhart his brother.
Just spent some of the best times of my life with the guy. Just stand-up guy.
A reminder to us all.
Don't take those days for granted. Tell your loved ones that you love them.
I learned tonight Joy and Chris just got married in February after dating for about 15 and a half years. And now she's going to have to bury her best friend.
Atlanta police announcing an arrest in the murder of a man in an upscale Buckhead neighborhood. A gunman shot and killed 57-year-old Christopher Eberhart.
So there you have it. We've got both of these individuals, both of these super gremlins, finally arrested. Travis Landrey and Braylon Espree. This is very similar to the Elijah Dewitt situation, where the super gremlins ran up on him in the parking lot, clapped him. Same situation here, 2 super gremlins, and then they flee to other states. So in this case, these guys were fleeing to Alabama. In the other case, the guys in Elijah Dewitt's case, they were fleeing to South Carolina. So there's a playbook that's coming out of the community that these super gremlins are following, and you know, at the end of the day, they're getting caught, so it can't be that great of a playbook. But they're catching bodies out here, man. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Along Peachtree Battle Avenue last Thursday morning. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes joins us live from APD's Zone 2 precinct in Buckhead with those developing details. Deidre.
Homicide detectives telling us this afternoon that the murder suspect is a Louisiana resident who was in the metro area from out of state, and that he was looking for a car to steal when he shot and killed the victim. Travis Landrey is behind bars in Alabama, facing murder charges in the shooting death of 57-year-old Christopher Eberhart.
We believe he was in Atlanta, again, a place he was not familiar with a firearm, and he was desperate for transportation to find some other way to leave Atlanta or link back up with his associate.
Officials say Landry's run-in with police began in Atlanta at around 4:20 Thursday morning.
An Atlanta police officer conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle that we believe was a stolen vehicle. It had no license plate on the back of it, and this was in the area of Interstate 75 and Moores Mill Road.
According to detectives, Landry and alleged accomplice Braylon Espree were inside the vehicle. The driver fled police, and when the car was discovered a short time later overturned on Northside Parkway, only Espree was inside. He was transported to Grady Hospital with injuries. Landry walked away from the crash on foot before police arrived.
We believe that he was walking around Buckhead, somewhere in that same area, with a firearm, trying to obtain new form of transportation. And we believe that at some point he came across Mr. Eberhart backed into a driveway on Peachtree Battle Avenue, and he approached him, confronted him, and that confrontation led to the motor vehicle hijacking of Mr. Eberhart's GMC Sierra pickup and his shooting death there at the scene.
At some point, Landry reportedly hooked back up with Espree after Espree was released from Grady at around 9:30 that morning.
And after the two joined back up in the pickup truck, they fled the state of Georgia in Mr. Eberhart's pickup truck, and we tracked that vehicle to Alabama, southbound on Interstate 65.
Working with federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, APD intercepted the stolen vehicle in Mobile County, Alabama at around 4 Thursday afternoon, taking the two men into custody without incident.
Warrants were issued late Friday night for Mr. Landry's arrest for murder, motor vehicle hijacking, felony murder predicated on motor vehicle hijacking, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
And detectives say they only learned of the men's connection to that initial traffic stop in Atlanta Thursday morning at around 4:30 a.m. after they were stopped and arrested in Alabama. Live in Buckhead, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Wow. Thanks so much, Teacher, for the latest on that case.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I could still get shot by the police. But I could get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.